Unlike most Battle Royale games, Apex Legends doesn't have your typical solos, duos, and 4-man squads. Aside from the limited time mode in Fortnite, 3-person game modes have never existed in a Battle Royale, and the format seems set in stone since, well, PUBG said so. But despite the eventual possibility that we get the much requested solo playlist, Respawn's decision to make teams of 3 the only option was, in my opinion, a very smart move. In concept, Battle Royales are simple. A bunch of people drop onto an island, gather loot, run from an ever-shrinking circle, and fight to be the last man standing. Actually playing and mastering them, on the other hand, is anything but simple. Learning the map, weapons, items, bullet drop, healing, and armor, and many other elements that vary from game to game. Just knowing what guns you prefer can take some time, considering death means you have to start all over. You might spend your first dozen games picking up totally different weapons and slowly getting the hang of them. This learning process is even longer if you decide to go it alone, as nobody will be there to tell you how anything works or what guns you should consider using. But the most crucial education you get from teammates is the flow of the game. The strategy and meta of Battle Royales is ever changing, making it difficult for new players to know why they should or shouldn't be doing something. And don't forget, everyone was new to Apex when it came out, all 25 million of us. The pace and feel of the game has changed a lot since launch day, which is due to the forced team play. The meta will develop much faster than other BRs as information will spread quicker. While this means jumping in the game as a new player will be pretty difficult in a couple months from now, it also means that new players will learn much quicker than if they jumped in for the first time solo. I can't imagine playing Fortnite for the first time nowadays and starting with a solo game. Without watching any tutorials on YouTube, you would have no idea what you were doing and instantly get smoked by the first person that saw you. And that trend would most likely continue till you quit, as there's no skill-based matchmaking and you'll always be matched up with godlike stretched res soccer sweaties. Or you jump into a squad game and learn from your teammates. By only having a 3-man squad mode, Apex has a better chance of retaining new players. It almost goes without saying, but I can't stress enough how important legends are to this game. Somehow Respawn managed to mix a Battle Royale with a hero shooter, and that element can't be forgotten. Lifeline's revive shield would be useless without teammates, whereas legends like Bangalore and Bloodhound would be better suited than others to solo play. And let's not forget the legends yet to come. If there was a solo playlist, Respawn would be forced to consider that for future character abilities, which sounds terrible to me. You'd have these nerfed characters that can't be all support because then they wouldn't be good in solo, but they can't be all offensive because then they wouldn't have a purpose on a team. You could take out abilities for solo, but then what's the point? The legends make this game what it is. If you were a Bangalore main and weren't able to throw down smoke when getting shot at, you'd feel handicapped. If you strictly played solo, the addition of new legends would be meaningless to you. Like building is essential to Fortnite, legends and their abilities are essential to Apex, and without a team, it all falls apart. The design around 3-player teams, no doubt, goes into the balance of the individual characters as well. When Respawn is designing future legends, they will have this team size in mind, keeping the characters from being too weak or overpowered. Legends must be thought of in terms of opportunity cost, meaning you can't quite fill every role with just 3 players. You can have the support of Lifeline, the smokescreen and aggression of Bangalore, and the protection of Gibraltar. But you'll be missing the AoE control of Caustic or the scouting capabilities of Pathfinder. In other hero shooters such as Overwatch, you can and should fill every role or you will lose. The difference with Apex is you're not limited by your character, you're enabled. The only downside to playing one legend is that you can't play another. There's no differences in health or move speed. But Overwatch and Apex are very similar in that changing the team size in either game has massive balance implications. If Overwatch all of a sudden had teams of 5 instead of 6, the meta would completely shift. As the legend roster fills out and we get more than just 1 or 2 healers, the team size will start to make more sense. Changing that team size, however, and the balance will start to fall apart. Every battle royale has some sort of gimmick, something that makes it stand out and appeal to a certain type of player. Fortnite's building, PUBG's realism, Blackout's fast-paced COD-like feel. But it seems like Apex has many things that make it stand out. Lots of little differences and quality of life touches that make it special. If I were to give it the same simple breakdown that I gave the others, it would be the legends, of course. Personally though, the thing that appealed to me the most before I even played the game was the respawn system. Gone were the days of getting finished off in the heat of battle only to have my team win the skirmish and be forced to spectate their eventual demise. No sir, not in Apex Legends. As long as your team gets to your corpse in a reasonable time and makes it to a respawn point, your fight isn't over. This not only makes thirsting more understandable, it makes it less crushing and rage-inducing. The anticipation after death to see if your one remaining teammate can clutch it out against the enemy is that of hope, as their survival also means your game isn't quite over. In teams of 2, respawns would become less common or possible, whereas teams of 4 means it would be Respawn Island. And that solo playlist people want so badly, say goodbye to another brilliant feature. Respawning is a core pillar of Apex, and it feels incredibly balanced and rewarding with teams of 3. For most people, Battle Royale is best played with friends. It's a social experience that requires teamwork and interaction, unlike your typical deathmatch shooter. It's a romp through the wilderness with your buddies, some guns, and people out to kill you. A lot of the popularity the genre has enjoyed is due to funny, organic interactions with friends doing goofy stuff. The possibilities are endless, and there's a real fun factor that solo play doesn't really have. It's also a lot easier to find yourself playing late into the night because all your friends are on and you don't want to miss out on the good times. I'm far less likely to quit the game if my friends don't intend to, whereas one bad game playing solo just might do the trick. And believe it or not, Respawn knows this, and they're using it to their advantage. Just like Fortnite or PUBG has players urging their friends to download the game in order to squad up with them, Apex does that to the extreme. With no solo option, you're highly incentivized to get the gang together, as playing with randoms might not be your style. But maybe you don't have any friends who are interested. The forced squad play will help you, and me, and all the other lonely bastards find friends. Think about it. If everyone is playing with randoms and you'd all rather be playing with friends, you're gonna start making them. You're going to start inviting them to play with you too, enticing them to play when they otherwise wouldn't be, further strengthening the player base and therefore making the game more successful. Fortnite has greatly taken advantage of FOMO through limited time events in their rotating cosmetic shop. Apex, however, is using FOMO in the most organic and familiar way. The fear of missing out on a good time with your friends. The same goes for streamers. Fortnite's top streamers are usually playing with each other, and Apex is no different, but again, it's to the extreme. The top Apex streamers are always going to be playing with other streamers or content creators. Not just usually or most of the time, always. Apex has enjoyed its seat at the top of Twitch for weeks now, and I have no doubt the squad system will keep it there longer than if it had a solo option. One streamer playing Apex usually means 2 others are going to join and stay playing. The American in me feels the more options, the better. Being able to play the way I want, when I want, is what I want. Many of us are used to developers catering to our every wish, while also throwing it back in their face when it doesn't actually work out how we thought it would. Just like Fortnite isn't your type of game if you don't like building, Apex may not be your type of game if you're a lone wolf at heart. Another battle royale will inevitably come along offering the sickest solo experience yet, and people will jump ship. There's always going to be something that someone doesn't like about a battle royale game because they can't appeal to everyone. And if they tried, they would lose that appeal, existing as this bland experience that does everything mostly right, but nothing better than their competition. Creating Apex Legends with only 3-person squads was Respawn's vision for the game, and I'd hate to see that tarnished by players who want every developer to cater to them. Thanks for watching, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and consider subscribing if you're interested in future Apex commentary and discussion. I really like to get into the details of the games that I play, mostly online multiplayer games. So if that interests you, then consider subscribing. But most importantly, I would like this video to open up some conversation, friendly debate among the community, and really get into this subject and hear what you guys think about it. Thanks again for watching. My name is Chan, and this is Sense Motive.